Okay, guys, let's go ahead and do an elevation, and it's essentially the same as we've done the in as we've done for the section drawing. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's close the floor plan out. Let's close out the transverse section. Okay, and let's go ahead into the project browser. I'm trying to see if you guys can hear me pretty good. Okay, good stuff. So let's go back. Okay. My mouse is doing something I'm not telling it. All right, let's go ahead and go to the first floor plan. So let's do the south elevation, okay? And what I want you to do is I want you to come over here to your elevations. If you have not named them, let's go ahead and name them. I think we named them last week: front elevation, uh, rear elevation, left and right elevation. For the next model, we will actually give them names like north elevation, south elevation, east elevation, west elevation. But for right now, this is perfect, okay? So let's go to the front elevation. And okay, good stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and do the front elevation. So let's go ahead and go here and let's go to front elevation. All right. So again, before you actually start drawing in it, you have to kind of clean it up a little bit. We don't want the trees to show, so right click, select a tree, and you want to actually hide that in view. Just click category, turn all the trees off. Okay. Um, you guys won't have all these levels. Again, I'm working from a different template just for this model, but just to minimize some of the deleting, I'll just do that. And we have finished floor, ceiling, finished second floor. Let's turn that one off. If you have levels already created, just turn them off. The ones that we created in the section will actually show up in the elevation. So you want to leave those on, right? But let's go ahead and turn off the ones that are not pertinent. So finish second floor, right click, hide in view. Just do the element because we don't want to turn all of them off. Second floor ceiling, hide in view, elements, finish third floor, hide in view, elements. Okay, so we have the ridge height shown. We can turn the roof height off. And let's go back to that because we're not showing. Let's go back to the floor plan. You see how the top of the roof is not showing here? That's because our foreclip is not set. It's not extended out far enough. So let's go back to the first floor plan. And let's go ahead and open up the crop region here. And let's go to the reveal hidden icon button. And let's click this guy. So you see how the view actually stops in the middle of the building. This is why we're not seeing all of the building. So let's take this and stretch it past the exterior wall on the planned north side. Okay, then turn that off. Let's go ahead and take this guy and move it back. Now let's go back to that front elevation. As you can see now, we have the whole building shown here. Okay, we don't typically like to show section markers in the elevation, so let's go ahead and click here, right click and hide that in view as well. Elements. And we can turn off the roof height one because that was based on a specific cut, right? So turn that off, hide in view. And I'm sure you guys will have some more questions regarding that, but no worries, just let me know and I will clarify. You can turn off the ceiling ones, hide in view. Elements. Let's see, you can turn this one off. Because we were only showing the ceiling because we were showing a section view. You wouldn't show the ceiling on an exterior view because you won't see it from the exterior of the building, right? So you want to go hide in view and elements. Let's go ahead and turn level 15 off because it's not pertinent. Hide in view, elements. Let's take the crop and pull it a little bit closer to the building. As you can see, the text comes along with it. Let's do the same thing on this side. So essentially, you'll have to clean it up and get the drawing prepared to actually receive annotations. Let's do the same thing here. I might do something different. Let's do this. let's do this right now. Let's do a reference plane, RP. And just draw it right here because we don't have the foundation drawn. And guys, I know this is not typical. Typically you build a building foundation up, but the way Rivet models, you have to actually put the walls up and then you put the foundation in. We did put the floor in, but we didn't put the structural foundation in, simply because I don't want to take you guys that far just yet. We will get into that when we start our next model in 2 weeks. Okay, so let's draw this reference plane. Let's pull it over here. So click it and grab that little pulley, the little grips, zoom out, and just pull it to over here, okay? And let's click the floor and right click, and let's do hide in view and elements, okay? And let's go RP for reference plane. Let's go here, drag it down, okay? And what we're gonna do is let's delete this because that shouldn't be there. I think I put that in by mistake. So RP, you want to drag it down. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a crop region to actually draw the foundation because we are dealing with the exterior of the building. It's not like we have to draw or design a slab. So we can put that in fairly quickly. They are typically 6-inch slabs shown on the drawing, 1'6" at the footing. So let's go ahead and draw that in. So what you want to do is you want to type in FR for field region. Architecture, let's see, I think it's gonna annotate. See region right here, field region. So what you wanna do is you wanna activate that command and you can draw it out using any of these tools. So for right now, we're gonna use the rectangle tool. Let's go ahead and click here and click here. Now you wanna click the check for finish edit mode. And now you have a field region there that'll show as a foundation. But we don't want to show it as gray. You can go ahead and select here. You guys may have these options, may not. I just want to show it as white. So I'm going to change it in mine. Yours should come, let's see, not white out opaque. Let's just say gray out, white out transparent. Nope. Let's just do diagonal crosshatch now. Let's see. Okay. Gray out opaque. So here's how you modify field region. They don't have it set to where it could be white, so you can select it. And you go here to edit type, okay? And you see where it says foreground color pattern? You want to leave everything else the same, even though you can change it. You can change it to show actual concrete, okay? And I'll do that just so you guys can see how that looks. We don't want to show it that way, not at this point, okay? Typically we use that for section drawings. So go back to edit type and, we just don't want any pattern. Click OK. And let's change the color to white. So now it's still there, but it's opaque. Let's see, edit the boundary. And what I'm doing is I'm editing the boundary due to the fact that the lines were drawn in to be transparent. You guys won't have to do this. This is just for me. Okay, see where it says invisible line style? We don't want that invisible. We want to change that to, something dark, something a little bit heavier than medium lines. Again, you guys won't have this. We'll get into this in detail when we do the detailed model. But I just wanted to do it so it actually show, right? So now it's showing up. And you can now delete these reference planes. I was just using those as guides to where our slab would fall. But typically that's how it would look. So now you can take the crop field region and drag it up to the bottom so it can show just like that, okay? All right. So typically, we will show the plate heights on elevation because that's what the contractors will utilize to actually construct the building. And we will show the ridge height because that's what they will utilize. So we'll leave everything here just the same. We can actually select it and turn them off on the left-hand side. Okay, so it'll look just like this. And let's go ahead, first things first, let's add an align dimension. Click here. click here, and click here, and drag it out. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see, the ridge height is not at the top of the roof because, let's go back to the section, longitudinal. You know what, let's do this. Let's take this guy, the ridge height, actually, let's place it up here. Instead of the bottom of the ridge, let's go ahead and place this guy at the top of the ridge. So what we'll do there is we'll go here and see what our difference is dimension-wise. So you can use RP for reference plane. I like to use those a lot because they're just reference planes. They don't affect the drawing versus drawing a line or something. RP. So we'll draw one here, and then we already have that line. I'm just trying to have something to dimension, to give us the dimension. It should be 6 inches, 7 3/4 MB. It should be 6 inches. I just want to double verify. Yeah. Sometimes rivet 7.5. Let's look at the roof system. Oh, we have an 8-inch wood rafter. That's why. Okay, so yeah, 7.5. Typically, when you're dealing with wood, okay, if it's a 2x6, that's the nominal size. The actual size is going to be 1.5 by 5.5, and I will give you guys some, wood size charts when we actually start the next model. Didn't want to roll that out right now. Didn't want to confuse you. When we actually start doing details, you guys will have a wood timber chart that tell you the actual size, because you have nominal sizes, but they actually cut this wood a 1/2 inch smaller than the nominal size. So if it's 2x6, you have a 1.5 by 5.5. Or if it's a 2x8, you have a 1.5 by 7.5. That's why this one was coming out at 7.5, right? So let's go ahead and move this ridge height up 7.5 inches and see if we can keep it clean, right? So let's do this and see how things come on. Just hide that. If you have things pop up in your drawings, keep in mind as we draw things, other things are being drawn. It'll show up in other drawings, so you're going to have to go back and review the drawings to make sure that you are actually showing what you want to show as per the specific view, okay? So click here, click here, click here. Now, okay. So we moved that annotation crop a little bit. We already had dimensions, right? Things keep showing up that we don't want to show up. But that's the nature of the beast when dealing with rivet. Sometimes things will do that. Let's take this guy and move it in just a hair. Alright, so now it's back clean like we wanted it. So let's take this guy right here, okay? So we have 9'5". So 9'5" plus 6 inches, that puts us at an even 10 inches. 9'5" plus 7 inches puts us at even 10 inches. So let's just say 10 feet. Not 10 inches, 10 feet. And that puts us right where we need to be, okay? So now what we have to do, we have to go back and adjust our ridge height. which is going to be a little bit different. So we click here, and we click here, and you can tabulate it. So it's going to be 23.6. So you want to go ahead and change this to 23 feet dash 6 inches. Enter. Yes. Okay, so there it is. That's where we should be. That's what it should look like. Now, when you go back to your front elevations, you'll now see that the ridge height is where it should be, and you can just hide the reference plane that we drew, just hide it in view. So now what we can do is go ahead and drop in an overall dimension. We can go from here to here, 23.6, okay? We don't need to do it on this side because everything is the same. So now you do the same thing. We'll start with the ground. You go to the Annotate tab, and let's click on the text button, and you want to click the two-segment text with two-segment leader, right? So you go here, 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 foundation, enter RESPCS, okay? So now you can take this, select it, and type in MV for move, MV, move it out some. Now type in CO for copy, and you would copy it, since the building is a little bit long, copy it 3 times. That way you're showing it in 3 different places, okay? And you would do the same thing here. This is brick veneer, RE, and you can select it, hit MM. On the other side, brick veneer, RE specs. You can actually put another one up here, go to text, and you do something like this. Brick veneer, RE specs. And you can come here and put another leader on it, select this guy. So now you have 2 leaders there, okay? And this is we'll call the header out. This is the window header. It's 8 by 8 inch header. So you go here, text, so 8 inch, they call it a lintel. Let's just say lintel, okay? You can take this and move it over just a little bit, and then put another leader on the other side, and take care of 2 birds with 1 stone, just like that, okay? And let's do another one here. So you go here, select this guy, create similar. Move it over, move it up. Boom. Let's go ahead and do this. And let's go ahead and call this guy out. All right, there you go. So there's the lintel. All right, now what we need to do is call the windows out. So same deal. You can just go here and click on text. Let's call it out window, RE specs. WINDOW. Enter RE specs. Okay. And you can just copy it once or twice. You can call them all out. Typically, you don't have to, especially if it's the same window. You don't have to call them all out. Okay. take this one and move it over to the center, add another leader to it, something like that. And let's do another one over here. Let's go to create similar, go here, 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 WINDOW space RE. Now let's go ahead and add the slopes. So you want to go here to spot slope. All right, this side is 6 on 12. This side is 6 on 12. And on this side, you just hover in front. This is a 9 on 12 9 on 12 side, I'm sorry. Just like that. Okay. So this is the top of the plate, 13.6. All right. And let's go ahead and call this out. In fact, let's go to the transverse section. You can just take this, Control C. Let's go back to the front elevation, Control V. All right, just paste it. All right. And what you can do is you can mirror that about the center axis. Now you have it called out on both sides, and I would actually call it out at the top as well. Copy, boom, place, just like that. And we'll call this out as 6-inch fascia. Let's see, create similar. Six-inch SCIA, 6-inch fascia. Select it and mirror it about the center axis. Now you have it on both sides, 6-inch fascia. Window sill, typical. So you go here. TYP. Select it and copy it around. They want to drop another one right here. Okay. You don't have to call all of them out. But if you wanted to, you can. It's not a problem. Seal typical. Let's go ahead and add another leader on this side and call this one out as well. This is the window sill. Okay, that's the bottom portion of the window. It's called the SILL, window sill. Okay, so that's essentially how you would annotate up your sections and your elevations. Next week, we'll incorporate furniture into the model. We will create interior views and we will annotate the interior elevations as well. So that's going to be it for this segment of Module 4, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming to class today. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Right now, I'm still upgrading your grades, so you guys can, be looking for that. Let's just say by the end of the week, I'll have all of your grades updated. At any rate, the work that I have looked at thus far is pretty spot on. I think everybody's doing well. Just continue doing the work. You are appreciated. Thank you.